Welcome back to the Astro Experience. Today we have Sun sign in Scorpio. Now, jumping straight into this, Scorpio is comprised of the 8th house, is ruled by Mars and Pluto. So water sign is also a fixed sign, right? So you bring all of these together and you get Scorpio. Now, I can speak on this energy a lot because my Mars and Venus conjunct in Scorpio 12th house. And then I'm a Sag moon and rising and south node, and it's damn near like 6 degrees. So I get a lot of influences from Scorpio, so I can speak on this energy very well. So when you talk about Scorpio sun signs, their actions, when you bring Pluto, which is deep transformation, deep renewal, deep rebirth, it's about depth, going under the surface. And then Mars is about intention, desire, motivation. It's about the self, right? So this is why Mars likes being here. Scorpio is a fixed water sign. Being fixed is about being stuck on one thing. Scorpios are stuck on their own emotions, their own feelings, how they feel, their own intuition. So when you bring Mars here, Mars loves being here because it can focus on its own motivations, desires, inspirations, passions, motivations. And then the 8th house rules Scorpio. The 8th house is about depth. It's about what's under the surface. Investigative work. This is why Scorpios, they like investigating. But when you bring it to the sun sign, it's a little different from the moon and the rising, because the sun, it's your actions. It's what you see. So a lot of times Scorpio sun signs, they see the depth of everything. They see deep emotions. They see deep willpower. They see deep intuition. This is why Scorpios are so good at being investigative. It's like when you look into a Scorpio, it's like they looking straight through you. They looking into your soul. This is why Scorpios act mysterious. You feel me? This is why they have a lot of stereotypes. But I'm not talking about just the stereotypes. I'm talking about where the stereotypes come from. This is why Scorpios act so deep. Because they're a water sign, but they're fixed. So they don't know how to deal with other people's emotions like that. Even though it's a water sign, it's still fixed. So it's still fixed on its own emotions. And then Mars is here and Pluto's here. They really don't give a fuck about how you feel. They just care about how they feel. But at the same time, it is a water sign. So they understand people on a very deep level. Because the 8th house is about secrecy, privacy, behind the scenes, under the surface. So Scorpios, their actions are very deep. They only do shit that they truly care about. They only take actions to what truly makes them feel on fire, bro. So a lot of times Scorpios can be mistaken for like a fire sign, because when you bring Mars here to the water, to fix water, is like that Mars is a fiery planet, so it heats up the water. And Scorpio is so deep down under, is like all they see, their emotions are burning. They have burning desires, burning passions, and it's so deep. And with Scorpio, everything is so deep, so it's hard to express. It's hard to bring to the surface. So Scorpios might not know how to express themselves how they truly want to, because it's like they can't. Venus falls here. Venus is about connection, value, appreciation, love. So Scorpios, they don't know how to really express or receive love like that, because they're fixed. They only care about what they value. They don't want to share that. Scorpios are selfish with their love. This is why. It's a fixed water sign where Venus falls here. Venus loves water planets. But Venus loves water signs, but not with Scorpio because it's a different type of water. It's a hot water. It's a deep water. It's like hell. Not in a bad sense, but it's so deep and it's so hot. And this, on the surface level, Scorpios seem very level-headed. You might not get a Scorpio acting abruptly or being super expressive or just doing things that don't matter. You won't see a Scorpio acting sporadic because the moon falls here. Venus is at detriment and the moon falls here. So that means that the moon is about your reactions, your inner world. When you bring that to the sun, the moon falls in Scorpio. So their actions are going to be unreactive. This is why when you're talking to a Scorpio, it's like they're looking straight into your soul. They look unreactive. Their eyes are piercing. They pierce through you because they're unreactive. So it's like you don't know what's going on in their head. You don't know if they love you. You don't know if they want to kill you. You don't know if they want to fight, if they want to make love to you. You don't know if they appreciate you. So a lot of times if you got a Scorpio in your life, you don't even know if they really fuck with you. Like, it fucked up. The way you know a Scorpio really fucks with you is if they have you around them. That's how you know. But they can't really express that. It's hard for them to bring all of those desires and passions and love up and express it. So a lot of times they hold on to deep emotions. I can get deep into this sign because this is my energy to a T. My Mars and Venus is in here. So I understand, like, if you're a Scorpio, especially if you got a lot of Scorpio energy in your chart, Scorpio suns don't experience the privacy, the secrecy, the in-depthness as much as other Scorpio placements. But y'all still experience this to a certain degree. But I understand, bro. This is my energy to a T. It's like, and then when Scorpio's your sun sign, it's like your actions are private. Your actions are secretive. You value secrecy. The 8th house is also about secrecy, privacy. So you value secrecy. Venus don't really fuck with secrecy. Venus likes to express. Venus loves to be out in the open, communicate, connect. But when you bring Venus to Scorpio, Venus falls in Scorpio, it's like you only fixate on your own values. This is what makes Scorpios selfish a lot of times. Scorpio suns, this is what makes their actions selfish because they act on their own values. They act on their own desires, their own motivations, their own passions. You feel me? So Scorpios are very, I'm not going to say caring. They're just very deep, very deep. There's so many aspects of Scorpio that dives them under emotions and keeps them secretive. The 8th house is about deep transformation. It's about depth, secrecy, privacy. Pluto is about deep transformation, deep renewal. It's about being rebirthed. And then the moon is about reaction, comfortability. But the moon falls here. So Scorpios don't like showing their emotions. They feel like vulnerability is a weakness in a Scorpio's eyes because the lack of Venus, the lack of the moon, and then the abundance of Mars and Pluto, and then the 8th house, and then the fixed water. It's like they don't give a fuck about how you feel. They feel like if you show your emotions too much, you're vulnerable and people will take advantage of you. That's Scorpio. Scorpios feel like that. But on a positive note, these people pay attention very good. They're almost like a Virgo in a sense where they pay attention to the details, but they don't think about it. They feel it. They know where it's coming from. So Scorpios understand a lot about your intentions. Scorpio sun signs, they see your intentions. They see your willpower. So a lot of times the only way to really connect to these people is if you throw your passions out there, what you deeply care about. That's what Scorpios really react and respond to. They don't care about surface level shit because they don't know how to be surface level. They're not that at all. They're so deep down under the water. When you think about Pisces, they're immutable water. So they might be on a boat in the ocean. Scorpios is secrecy, privacy, depth. They're at the bottom of the ocean, stuck on a rock, and they can't come up. And then Cancers is like, they can initiate it, so they're like on the beach. They could dip their toes in, dip it out. Cancers could do what they want. Pisces is just on a boat, stranded in the middle of the ocean. And then Scorpios is deep down under. So it's hard to really get close to a Scorpio emotionally. You might be around them here and there, but actually connecting with them on a deep emotional level, that's what's going to keep them with you for the rest of their life. That's what's really going to make this person fuck with you. And a lot of times it's hard to build that trust up because these people got so many guards up. They don't trust love to a certain degree. They only trust intentions. They only trust desires, motivations, willpower. Ooh, excuse me. So, and they value love. I mean, they value their own love, their self-love, but they value secrecy, privacy. So the worst thing you can do to a Scorpio is embarrass them, because they hold that shit deep in their heart. They don't like being vulnerable. They see that as not even a weakness, but they're uncomfortable with that. The moon falls here, so they have trouble expressing their own emotions. They're so deep down under there, they may understand how they feel, but it's hard to bring it out and express it. Remember, they're deep down in the ocean, stuck on a rock. Imagine that experience for yourself. It's like you want to come up, but you just can't. You don't know how to express it. So with these people, Scorpios need people in their lives that they can truly relate to on a deep level, not just no surface level shit. Because if you get a lot of surface level people around you, you might want to fucking kill yourself, bro. Because it's like, what's the point of this shit? Don't nobody really understand me. Don't nobody really see me for me. And it's hard. It could be hard being a Scorpio. But with Scorpios, that's more so your actions. When you bring it to Venus and Mars, that's more so how you relate. That's more so what you're passionate about. You bring that to the moon, that's more so what you're comfortable with. So you're comfortable with being fixated on your own desires. You're comfortable with being valued. You're comfortable with only valuing your own emotions. But with the sun, it's not as harsh of a placement for Scorpio because that's your actions. You may just act secretive. You may just act like you don't give a fuck about other people's emotions. So Scorpio suns, these people see depth. They see life. They see not even life. They see death. They see rebirth. They see renewal. They see the deep down under. They see your passions, your motivations, your deep desires. So if you have a Scorpio around you, these people make you feel seen. If this Scorpio really fuck with you and they're trying to connect with you on an emotional level, these people make you feel seen because they understand the depth of where your emotions can go, so they can relate to that. But the thing is, if you fuck over a Scorpio, it's hard to get their trust. So if you fuck them over, this is what makes them vengeful, because the lack of Venus and the lack of the moon, and then Mars and Pluto. This is what makes them psychopaths, because they feel like if you fuck them over, They don't got no Venus there. Venus don't fuck with them. So they lack value. They lack valuing your emotions. And then Pluto, deep transformations, intentions, Mars, motivations, they're going to intend to deeply transform you. That's why Scorpio has this bad rep of like, oh, they're psychopaths. They can be serial killers. And honestly, they have a tendency to be that a lot more than other signs. But this is why you fuck them over. It's hard to get their trust. So they want to deeply transform you with Pluto, and that's their intention with Mars. Fix water. So they want you to feel however they feel, but they want that shit to change you forever. So if a Scorpio don't fuck with you, they might not bring it to the surface like a Gemini, be like, yeah, I don't fuck with that person. They're going to do some shit or say some shit to really hurt your feelings, to make you want to kill yourself, to make you deeply transform. That's what's on these people minds. They don't give a fuck about just hurting your feelings just to hurt them. Maybe like an air sign or another water sign like a Pisces. These people, if they got it out for you, they want you to feel that shit so deeply that you will never forget it in your life. That's Scorpio. Scorpio is a scorpion. So they feel like if they're vulnerable and you take that for granted, they might sting you. They got the stinger. So it's like, all right, you getting too close, I'll sting you. Like, all right, mind your business. I don't fuck with you like that, bro. We associates, but we not that cool. You feel me? They got the stinger. But you can always point out a Scorpio in a crowd by their eyes. They have very intense eyes. It's like I keep saying this, but like, this really what it is. Like when they look at you, especially Scorpio suns, it's like they are looking into the depths of you. They can have a blank, cold, but also a deep stare. It can be like sometimes when you look in their eyes, it's either a lot of emotions or it's just no emotions at all. There's no in between with a Scorpio. It's either it's up or it's all the way down. There's no in between with a Scorpio. There's no gray areas. Life is just black and white for them. It's either you with them or you not. What are we doing here? You either fuck with me or you don't. That's how these people feel. They can't just communicate just for the sake of communicating. But when you talk about their actions, this is their actions and what they see. So they see a lack of emotions. I'm not going to say that because they are a water sign, so they understand. But the moon falls here, so they see the lack of love because of Venus is at detriment here. Venus is somewhere that it does not want to be at all. So these people see the lack of love. They see, when they look out into the world, they can be uncomfortable with getting close to people, being in vulnerable situations. They don't like people knowing certain things about themselves. Unlike a Leo, Leos can be open books. Leos, Aries, Sagittarius is a lot of fire signs too. Even Geminis, Aquarius here and there, Libras here and there. It depends on who you're around though. But these people, they cannot just be out in the open and seen that in any kind of light. That will hurt a Scorpio so deeply. Do not make these people just being seen is so important to a Scorpio. Not like a Leo. They don't want to be seen, but they feel like Scorpios feel like if they got that spotlight, they really deserve it and they really cherish it. But it's also scary to them because they can't just be looked at in certain ways. They can't just be vulnerable with everybody. So this is why it's hard for the moon to be there. The moon likes being vulnerable, relating, connecting. Scorpio don't fuck with that. Scorpio values privacy, secrecy. So, keeping it on a light note, even talking about Scorpios, I can feel it. It's like Scorpio is a very deep sign. Like, I can feel the energy of just a Scorpio archetype in general, and it's very deep because I have a lot of this energy. So, but when it comes to the sun sign, their actions are very deep. I've said that. Their actions are, they only act on what they truly intend to do. Fixed water with Mars and Pluto. They only act on what they truly intend to deeply transform. This is what makes these people healers. The higher octave of Scorpio is a healer. These people can heal you. These people are very, and you talk about sex too. Sex, fixed water is Mars. Fixed water and Mars, and then lack of Venus. So, and then eighth house is also about sex and renewal and transformation. This is why Scorpios are seen as like a sex symbol, because they're very intense. Scorpio is a very intense energy. It's not just out there like Aries. Aries is a different type of intense. Aries is like a pushing out kind of intense. They're like, don't fuck with me kind of intense. They're like expressive kind of intense. Scorpio is like a scorpion kind of intense. Like, you walk over here, I'm going to sting the shit out of you. I'm not going to express too much, but you can see based off of how I am, don't fuck with me. But 20 minutes already, I can make this shit an hour long. But for the most part, Scorpio sun signs, they're very laid back, reserved because of the lack of the moon. And then you won't see these people in places where there's people they don't fuck with. So these people constantly keep themselves around people that they can trust. And a lot of times, that's not a lot of people. So you may see these people with only 2 or 3 close friends. And if they're not around these people, they're alone. Because a lot of times, Scorpios feel like they can only trust themselves. They can only be vulnerable with themselves. They can only trust themselves with their vulnerabilities. You feel me? But I can go on and on and on. You feel me? But Scorpio sun signs in a nutshell is very deep, very, I'm not going to say secret or private, but they value their privacy. So don't take that for granted. Scorpios also can have a lot of stomach problems also. When you repress a lot of anger and emotions, anger is held in the stomach. So Scorpios may have a lot of stomach issues, especially if you're not expressing yourself how you should. Scorpios also have a hard time expressing themselves how they feel they should. It's always something more that they wish they could have said, or something else that they wish they should have said. But they share that in common with Capricorn, because the moon don't fuck with Capricorn, and Mars is exalted in Capricorn also. So that's something that they share with Capricorn. But yeah, for the most part, these people are just very under the surface, very investigative, very deep, very transformative. So without further ado, I'll catch y'all next video.